Welcome back to the #1 podcast for journal prompts and deep conversations. Today I am joined by my friend. His name is Phil Monachino. Welcome on, Phil.
How we doing?
We're good. So today's journal prompt is, what brings you joy and happiness? Once again, what brings you joy and happiness? I'll give you guys a full minute to think about this. If you don't want that full minute, just skip ahead. So before we start the podcast, make sure wherever you are, leave some type of rating, like if you're on YouTube, subscribe, do whatever you can to help me get this podcast out to more people, just so if they want to hear more journal prompts and deep conversations, they know where to look for. All right, Phil, so I kind of wanted to do something a little bit different today, so I want to get more personal, just so we could connect with the audience and, they can know who you are. And maybe they could get to know me a little bit more. So, Phil, let's go back on our timeline of how we met and became friends.
Oh, God.
So we started in 42, but, I don't even think we talked in 42.
Nah, I remember you being there, but, I'd never
Yeah, we were just there.
Yeah.
But in middle school, that's when it really started.
Yeah, it was 7th grade, right?
7th grade.
Yeah.
Well, no, wasn't it 6th?
Maybe.
Were you in 6'6"?
No, I was in 6'2".
Oh,
I was in the
yeah.
CCT class, and I hated it. That's why I got moved.
Yeah, I remember that.
I hated
All right,
it.
So 7'6", where it all started.
Yeah, it was 7'6".
Me, you, Brandon Liberzon,
Oh,
Justin
yeah.
Arleo,
Yeah,
and
we had,
Matt
Grasso.
Ovino, John Grasso.
Yeah, him. The kid Sonny.
Bro. Sonny had a kid and moved down to,
Are you serious?
Yeah, he moved to Atlanta, I think.
That's crazy.
Yeah. It's actually pretty wild to hear. Because he was, it was funny because he started losing weight,
Yeah,
and
I remember
and then I guess he just fucked a girl, and from there on.
That's crazy.
But yeah, me and Phil know each other from middle school, and what was it, 8th grade? You were in my class, right? Too 8-12.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
we were
from
with Jenna.
8-12 was a cool year.
8-12 was the class.
And you actually, what's funny? I brought this up on the podcast once, I think. So, do you remember when we had to take that test to get into the advanced
you cheated
algebra?
off of me.
Yeah,
I think I listened to
Oh, did you?
I did.
Yeah, so I cheated off of you because the guy was like, if I catch you cheating, you're out of the test. So I'm like, I don't even want to be here right now.
That was bad.
So funny. I was cheating so hard, so obvious. So obvious. And I was like, yo, I totally got my test exempt from that. I'm not going to have a hard class next year. And you got me into the class. So
You're welcome.
I mean, you changed my life, Phil.
I got you. You're welcome.
So you're a life changer. Oh, yeah. And throw it back to when we used to call you Kyrie Irving in basketball.
Oh, my God. Yeah.
That was something that I thought of.
Because I'm terrible at basketball. I'm awful. And for some reason, we were on the same team, right? No, you were on the other team. I was with Jenna. For when we did that 3-on-3 thing.
Yeah.
And you murdered us in the second round. I don't know. So I don't even know. We were probably messing around in basketball. I just take stupid shots, just scream Kyrie. I don't know. I thought it was Kyrie.
You made a name for yourself.
Yeah.
Can you just hold the mic a little closer?
Oh, I'm sorry, guys.
Yeah. This podcast is all your fault if it sucks.
I'm sorry. But, so we did that 3-on-3 stuff, and it was me, Jenna, and Grasso, I remember. And for some reason, I just started going off. I was hitting every shot. And then the teacher came up to me. Well, I forget his name. That guy.
McKay.
I hated that guy, but he came up to me. He was like, yo, where do you play basketball? And I was like,
Here.
I've never played basketball in my life. He was like, nah, bro, you're lying. I was like, no, I don't.
That was funny. Yeah, and then after middle school, we really didn't talk that much.
Yeah,
Because you went to Farrell.
I did.
But you were still with like half of my friend group.
yeah.
So like we still saw each other.
Yeah,
here
I
and
would
there.
see you, and then every time I see you, like, it would be back, like, when it was in middle school.
Yeah. And then now we're reconnecting again just
Yeah.
because Jenna hangs out with you more often.
Yeah.
So now
Jenna,
Goga
we got Jenna Cavelli, we got the Goga,
yeah,
Goga,
Goga
6'9".
6'9", yeah. So yeah, we definitely reconnected, which is cool. Like it's so weird, right? How
It
like
is.
you go in and out of relationships all the time.
Yeah, it's crazy.
But like once you're with the other person, it's like, oh, it's like normal.
yeah.
It's weird. All right, so let's finally get to this question. Hopefully you guys appreciated that little segue of us just talking about how we know each other and stuff. Because I feel like I always just jump into the question, and you don't know who the person really is.
Yeah, I want you guys to know me, you know?
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, the topic for today, the journal prompts, is what brings you joy and happiness. So you said you were thinking about some stuff before you got here.
Yeah, I was thinking, like, on the way here.
Okay, so
I
what
live,
were
like,
you
5
thinking
minutes
about?
away, so it wasn't that much thinking.
Hey, it's a lot. It's 300 seconds right there.
Yeah. So, honestly, like, what brings me happiness, honestly, like, not to be, like, that guy, but, like, peace, like, being alone and quiet, like, you know, that just makes me happy.
Yeah, so
Not to be that guy, but
no, like you can be
Bro.
that guy.
like nothing's better than waking up. Yeah, so like nothing's better than waking up like 10, 11 o'clock. Like, you know, no one's in the house. It's quiet. Just go downstairs and make breakfast. Like nothing's better than that, honestly. I'll take that every day of my life. I love
So you like to just wake up in nice peace and calm, no noise really.
Yeah, because I grew up in like I have a brother and sister. They're both younger, so usually I'm waking up there, everyone's yelling, screaming. You know, that's what I'm used to.
How old are they?
Well, now my brother's a senior in high school. My sister's a junior.
So how much older are you than them?
I'm 3 years older than my brother, 4 than my sister.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so growing up, you're the big brother. Like
Yeah.
you started school by yourself basically,
Yeah.
and then your brother came along, and then your sister
Yeah.
came along. So it was just probably so annoying after that.
Yeah.
Where you liked waking up, like okay, like mom made
Yeah,
my
everything was for
breakfast.
me, right?
Yeah.
Now it's not. So
Yeah,
maybe I'm a little jealous still.
You were spoiled at first.
I was, yeah.
That's what happens. But that's very interesting because we live in such a noisy world at this point.
Yeah.
So to hear somebody say that they like peace, do you think
I
you
love it.
like peace a lot for your happiness and joy and stuff like that because of that? Because that we have so much noise in this world? Or do you think you like it just because that's what you like?
Maybe that has a part of it because I go to school in St. Francis, which is like basically
Brooklyn, right?
kind of Manhattan. It's right over the Brooklyn Bridge.
So it's downtown Brooklyn?
Yeah, downtown Brooklyn. And you know, it's crazy over there. I'm in class, you hear people honk. They literally hold their horn for like a minute straight. Like, it's so annoying.
That is okay. Off topic. This is so stupid. Why do people do that? It's like
It gets me so angry.
you're not.
Like, I'm
going
not even
anywhere.
like, I have nothing to do with the horn or anything, and I'm still mad at when it happens.
No, 100% because it just doesn't make any sense. Like,
Yeah, like-
especially traffic in New York City. Like, you're
Yeah,
just,
like
it stands still.
sometimes like a big truck will stop in the middle of the thing, like the middle of the street, and no one can pass, so they hold their horn. Like, what do you want the truck to do? Disappear? Like, it's not gonna happen.
Yeah, because they got to deliver shit.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And that's so annoying. Does that mess you up for like tests and shit?
No, I'm like when my brother and sister, I used to do homework with them running around the table, my mom chasing them. So that doesn't bother me, but it just pisses me off, honestly.
That's pretty good though that you could do that. Because when I have noise around me, I get so distracted.
I really don't. I mean, I like study with music on and stuff like that.
I never was able to do
I
that.
have to. If it's like too quiet, that like throws me off.
That fucks you up?
Yeah, if it's too quiet, that I feel like I start like hearing stuff in my head.
You go crazy.
Yeah.
Now I'm the total opposite. Like once I have peace and quiet, like that's strange though, because you like peace and quiet for your happiness, but for other
Well,
things that stimulate your mind,
Yeah,
you like the noise.
exactly. I mean, I'm not too happy studying or doing homework or anything, but
So you don't find happiness in your major?
No, I do. I actually really do. But it's just like doing the work for it doesn't, I wouldn't say it brings me happiness, but like the outcome, I know it's gonna bring me happiness.
Well,
So
what is the outcome in your eyes?
so I'm in nursing right now. I'm in my third year. So in a couple of years, I'm looking to, get a nursing job, obviously. And then I'm thinking I'm probably going to end up going back to school and be like a nurse practitioner or something like that. Make a little more money.
So
Yeah.
what's the difference between a nurse and a nurse
Well,
practitioner?
they're just more qualified. They can like write prescriptions and stuff like that. So it's like closer to like a PA than a nurse,
Okay, that's
basically.
cool.
Yeah.
So you always want to become a nurse?
I really wanted to be a doctor, to be honest. I always loved like going to the, not that I love going to the doctor, but I loved like the idea of being one.
You were fascinated.
Yeah, exactly. I was fascinated by doctors and like, cause I like played football and I would get injuries and I would go to whatever it's called, like not a doctor, but
A pediatrician? I don't know.
I don't know, the person who like
that is so
like
off.
I hurt my knee. I hurt my knee. A pediatrician's for like kids.
Yeah.
It's a kid stopped. No,
Dude,
so,
I have no idea
yeah.
about any of this shit.
Nah, I hurt my knee and like I went to the, was it orthopedic? I don't know, something like that. And like I was so fascinated. Like I remember he had like
All
what's
the
it
charts
called?
and stuff?
Yeah, he had like all charts all over the room. He had what's like a I
What are you trying to
so
get out
a
of?
thing of a knee like like it shows how it works.
like the actual knee itself, like a little skeleton type of thing?
Yeah, it's like a model of a knee. Someone
So a skeleton of a
basically,
knee.
yeah, and that just fascinated me honestly. I love that stuff.
So,
But
yeah, I mean, I'm fascinated by that too, but like the amount of work that you have to
it's
do.
just ridiculous. Honestly, it's like if I were to become a doctor, just say like I actually wouldn't start working till like after 30. Like I find that insane.
Isn't that a little disturbing? Like,
It's not.
do you really trust the process? Are you really Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid, where you trust the process this much right now?
I don't trust that process. That's for sure. I trust my process.
Okay.
I don't know about that one. That's why I decided I wanted to become a nurse, because I saw nursing and kind of looks cool because like you're really like the person who's like there for the clients or the patients.
Yeah.
Like you're the one, like the doctors in and out in the hospitals, like you're there taking care of them, giving them what they need, and I found that really cool.
No, it's really cool. I would love to become like I love helping people.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But what I also hate is school.
That's what I'm saying. So
So,
we just gotta
like,
push through it.
Yeah. Yeah, but aren't you doing it though with Frankie and stuff like that?
Oh yeah, that
Frankie?
helps a lot
Yeah.
actually. I'm with my friend Frank, Joe Genovese. I'm with him,
Okay.
and Clayman.
Eric Clayman?
Yeah,
Yeah.
So we're all together, and it actually helps a lot. We made a lot of friends with the girls that are in the nursing program.
Uh-huh.
So
Just girls?
basically. Like it's like there's
Well,
like
isn't it just? It's mainly women, right?
yeah, there's like 5 guys in my program.
And you're 4 of them.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That's mad funny, but that's cool though because like you are definitely the outlier, so you're 100% gonna get a job when you're placed.
Yeah, they all say that like, oh, the guys didn't get the jobs first. They're gonna get the better jobs. I mean, I'll take it. Not to be sexist or anything, but I'll take
No,
it.
you're the minority.
Yeah, exactly.
There's no sexist
Exactly.
in it. Like I don't know why they want more guys to be a nurse.
Well, because you need guys to like be able to lift more patients, stuff
Oh,
like that.
Okay, so it actually has to do with
More like
being
physical.
stronger.
Yeah.
Wow, that's actually really interesting. Wait, so you I remember the night that we went out, you were like, "Oh, I got to be back in the city at 8 a.m." Meanwhile, we were taking the train home and it was like 2:45 in the morning.
Yeah.
First of all, how did you do that day? Were you able to get up and do work?
I got there. Don't worry, but it was a rough morning for me. A couple hours in, I got better, but just that first.
Yeah. So what are you exactly doing at this point?
What do you mean with my clinicals? and
Like,
stuff?
yeah, when you go there and stuff.
Well, thing with my school, we're really, really behind. We were supposed to start clinicals in like January, February. Like January, we're supposed to start. And it's March now. I've been in one clinical. I should have had... I basically have like maybe 5 hours of clinical, and I'm supposed to be like almost done with them. So that's really not good. But So,
Oh, and school's just shut down. So what happens with
oh,
that?
that's another thing. I have no idea. They're gonna tell us something. I don't know. I might still have clinical.
Because you're close to graduating, so like you
Yeah,
need this shit.
yeah, I need it. I might be like, there's a possibility that we could all be behind because we don't have enough hours.
Yeah.
I might have to do it in the summer or something, which,
That's not the worst thing in the world because it keeps you up with everything.
It does.
Like you're probably gonna forget about half of the shit that you
100%.
learned this semester.
Oh, yeah.
During the summer. Like how do you do that? Because this always fascinated me with people who are becoming these crazy jobs like nursing and stuff like that. Even people who study math and stuff like that.
Yeah.
How do you remember everything?
I mean, it usually just comes back to you because we take a bunch of different classes, and like it's basically like you learn not the same thing over and over, but like everything like in that class you need to like know the stuff from the first class. So like you kind of like, it refreshes you, and like it's not that bad.
So it's kind of all like a building process where it
Yeah,
connects?
basically like you start with like basic stuff like vital signs, just like that, and then it builds to like doing other stuff with the vital signs, like to add on to it. It just keeps like going from there.
That's pretty
Basically.
cool.
Yeah.
That's enjoyable.
Yeah. It's not
Does
bad.
it bring you joy?
It does. I like. All right. So I like the clinicals, like that. That stuff I like. I'm not saying I
The
like.
hands-on stuff.
Yeah, I love that stuff, but I don't know about sitting there in class, like, because this year we're doing like, in one semester we're doing half pediatrics and half maternity.
Okay.
So like we just finished pediatrics and we did it in like 4 weeks, 5 weeks. Like that's not enough time to learn. And the other class, there's like a crazy teacher. Like, don't even get me started. She's a crazy teacher, and they had literally like I think 4 tests in 5 weeks or something like that.
For tests and when do you learn?
That's what I'm saying. Like,
Like-
they would take a test, learn. She would like keep them after, and then the next week they would have another test. They had 3 tests in a row.
I used to have when I went to school, my long journey of 1 year of college. Ugh. I love bringing this up every podcast. But when I was in school, my physics professor, we had class 2 days a week for physics. First of all, 2 days a week for physics is stupid. You need at least 3.
Yeah, my classes are all one. All my classes are 1 day a week. It's crazy.
What?
Yeah.
For like all of your nursing classes?
Yeah, they're all 1 day a week.
How?
They're like 4 hours long.
Okay. That's kind of like...
Yeah, so it's basically like 2 classes put into one, basically.
Yeah, but that's so stupid. Like, you're not going to remember 4 hours of information.
Yeah, it's like, it's crazy. Because
Like,
by hour 3, I'm just not there anymore.
This is why everyone's on fucking Adderall.
Yeah, exactly.
Because they expect you to remember everything within such a short amount of time.
The teachers are good with that, though, except for that crazy teacher I told you about. Other than that, they'll give us breaks every hour. They're really good with that.
Yeah,
but,
you need at least like a 5-10 minute break to get your mind back on track.
Yeah, because they know, like, by hour 2, hour 3, like, everyone just sitting there, like, not even paying attention. They could tell.
Yeah, you kind of look like a zombie after a while.
I'm always the first one to become the zombie. I'm always the first.
Why is that?
I can't sit still. I think I have like ADD or ADHD, one of those things. I can't not sit still. I can't focus. I'm bad with that.
Well, I don't know. I feel like it seems that when you are engaged in something, you could sit still. Like
if I'm engaged, like when I'm at clinicals, I'm fully focused. I'm in, help patients, all that stuff. I love that. But just sitting there learning about it, I feel I don't learn that way. I don't know about other people.
I don't.
I can't learn in a classroom saying, "Oh, this is how you do that." No, I learn by doing it myself, because that's where it all clicks.
Yeah, 100%. I was talking to this about the other day on Tuesday. So like I taught a class, and these 2 older women, they're probably like upper 50s, lower 60s, and they were like, "Oh, how old are you?" So I always hit them with the "How old do you think I look?" Because I'm always very curious about what people think and what they perceive about me, and I always get older because of what I do. But they always hit me with the, "Oh, you looked younger though." Like half the time I probably do look younger, but the other half they probably are just like, "Oh yeah, I was wrong, but I'm just gonna say that."
Yeah.
And they were like, "Oh, like so what are you doing? Like you in school or something?" And I was like, "No, I'm actually not." And they asked why. So I said, "Oh, I don't enjoy learning in that classroom setting. You know, when I learn, I do like to learn first of all. But when I like to learn, I like to keep that information in my brain and my mind and use it every day. But with how I was learning in college, especially college, like in high school, it wasn't too bad
Oh yeah,
because
college is just straight
you
learning.
yeah, you had 10 months of learning,
Yeah.
which is reasonable. Like
Yeah.
I can learn all of trigonometry. Well, not all of it, but
Well,
most
yeah.
of it within 10 months. But when you give me a 4-month course on calculus and we're meeting 3 or 4 times a week and I have to literally, like, if I went to the bathroom during calc,
Oh yeah, you miss everything.
I missed everything. Like I never did. Like I
Yeah,
literally
calc was
just
rough.
held it in. Like if I had to go to the bathroom right away in the beginning of class, I was like, all right, let's weigh out the pros and cons. But yeah, I was like, yo, I hated being in the classroom setting. I never enjoyed going to class because I never learned what I wanted to learn. Like I wanted to learn. I studied computer science and I wanted to learn everything about computer science. But
Yeah.
what they did was they forced down calculus and physics into your
Oh,
brain.
that's what gets me. You keep going.
Yeah.
I got a whole thing.
Yeah.
After.
This we should rename this podcast. What actually annoys us?
Yeah.
What doesn't bring us joy? But yeah, it was like I just kept getting pounded with so much work, and I was like, I'm not interested in learning about this math. Like maybe in the future, yes, because it definitely helps with programming. But in my opinion, I talk to other kids and they're like, you don't need calculus and physics to actually become a programmer, but you're gonna need to know that stuff in the future if you want to make some crazy shit. And to me, I'm like, oh, so why don't I learn that shit in the future
Exactly.
when I'm actually interested in it?
Exactly.
So yeah, you could go on your rant now.
College I think is a huge scam.
How much
I
do
hate
you
it.
pay if you don't mind me asking?
I forget the exact amount. It's not expensive at all. That's why I went to St. Francis. I'm paying around the same price as
Like a
CSI.
CUNY?
Yeah.
Stuff like that?
Like
Okay.
around 6, 7,
Yeah.
something like that. I mean, that's the only reason. Like I wanted to go away, have fun, but that's all I wanted to do. I was pissed off that I was staying home, but then I realized that's the right decision. I don't have to come out with a shit ton of loans. Oh, excuse me.
Oh, dude, fucking,
I know.
fucking say anything, bro.
Yeah.
I'll say fuck all day long.
Nah, so I don't want to come out with some crazy loans, and I want to be able to save up my money, buy a house, maybe get a wife. Not yet. Save the wife for a little bit.
Dude, don't even think about
Yeah.
that yet. Get your life under
So I didn't
control
even-
first.
All right, so college is a scam. It's expensive. It's stupid, and they make you take these stupid classes that have nothing to do with anything. Like right now, I'm in a business ethics class. It's like a philosophy class, and I'm a nursing. Like, what does that have to do with anything? I took art, music. I took, I don't know, writing. all
So
this
the
stupid
reason
stuff.
why they give you these classes to open up your minds to other subjects. But when I hear that saying, I'm like, so you don't think I'm going to start doing other shit than my schoolwork? Like, I can look at art other days. If you just give me all the work to become a fucking nurse, I'm going to do all of that.
Exactly.
And then the other time that I have, my free time, I'm not just going to sit around on social media and just scroll for 3 hours. I'll do that for 2 hours, and then the other hour,
Yeah.
I'll be doing, other shit. I'll be interested in doing everything else that interests me.
Exactly. But I just can't take it because, I knew I wanted to be a nurse, basically senior year. I knew it, and I knew that's what I wanted to do.
That's good that you know.
Yeah, I'm lucky. A lot of people, they have trouble with that. My brother's having a lot of trouble deciding. He has no clue.
I have no idea what I want to do.
Yeah, but,
I'm banking on this podcast going
Yeah.
viral one day. I'm just like, all right, hopefully it
yeah,
goes
after
viral.
this episode, just wait.
It's going to be this episode.
Nah, but, they make you take all these stupid classes. Not that they're stupid, but, they have nothing to do with what I want. And the teachers, a lot of them, think they're the only class you take. My art professor, she was a psycho. We used to fight every day. She was a nun, too. She was a sister. She used to yell. She used to literally make fun of me, and I would go back at her. You're not gonna sit here and the first couple times I took it because I wasn't expecting it,
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, like, she would just, like, get up and just make fun of me in front of the whole class. I'm like, bro, what the hell's wrong with you? Like, you're not going to sit here and make fun of me. And, like, one time she was, like, going crazy, screaming at me. And I was like, bro, I can't take this. So, like, you know, I'm punching the desk. I get up, and she's like, sit down. You're not dismissed yet. So I'm dismissed yet. I'm like, yo, this isn't high school. The fuck out. I couldn't take it anymore. Like, I actually had to go to the staircase. And my ex-girlfriend, she was in my class. She had to calm me down. I actually was ready to go in and like flip all the desks. Like I had to go to the what's it called, the staircase, just to like calm down. Like she was crazy, but like stuff like that. Like she gave us hours and hours and hours of homework. Like, and then I would like make sure I do that homework because I have to pass those classes. If I don't, then I can't move on in nursing. So I would do all that, and then I remember one time I failed the nursing test, and my teacher, like, she came up to me. She was like, oh, what happened? Like, come to my office and talk about it. So I said, listen, like, my art teacher gave me, like, 4 hours of homework. I was sitting there going crazy doing it. I work. I had school every single day this week. I work on the weekends. Like, I really am having trouble right now. And she was like, oh, you really picked art over nursing? I was like, I had to. I mean, am I supposed to get a 0? Because all our grades were based on homework. So I had to do the homework unless you want me to fail that and then have to retake art and put all my nursing classes on hold. Like I couldn't. I tried my best, and she just like didn't want to hear it. What do you want me to do?
Yeah, I was just about to bring up that point where you kind of have to pick and choose sometimes.
Exactly, and I should have probably chose nurse. I mean, I passed it, so it's whatever. But like going back, I probably should have told the art teacher to go screw herself. And
yeah, but like when you're in the moment, you're not gonna take a class. You know, classes are very expensive.
They are very,
like,
very expensive.
Tuition is what, 6,000-7,000. So you're looking at like each class is about $1,000.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So if I'm not gonna throw away $1,000, like, all right, what is it, 3-4 months the semester? Say the semester's 4 months, right?
Yeah, it's like 4.
Yeah, so say you're 2.5 months in. At this point, like, you can't drop the class.
Exactly.
And if you take an SU, you know, like the pass or fail type of thing.
Yeah.
You only have a few of those. So you're kind of like, all right, I have how many more electives do I do with this one? And if I do it with this one, am I going to stop doing all the work that I need to and probably still fail because I'm not even caring about my grade? Like, that's the whole problem with that SU crazy type of thing. But it just doesn't make sense why you're kind of forced in a way to choose which path you have to go down. And it just sucks, man. It really does. Like, it's not a fun thing to choose.
Yeah, well, basically, I'm almost done with all my electives, so I kind of don't have that problem. I'm taking basically one elective per semester. So I have one this semester. I'm taking that philosophy class, which that's another joke. I don't want to get started with that.
Well, isn't it all reading, right?
I mean, yeah, we have to like read and write like essays. Not really essays. They're more like the teacher doesn't care. Like you could tell like he knows what kind of class he's teaching. We just have to write like a paragraph and hand it to him.
That's fire.
That's it.
That's great.
That's the type of teacher. He's cool, but you know, like, and then you get these kids that are in the philosophy class, like they think they're like Aristotle, like talking. You don't even understand. It's like, I don't even know where to start.
Well, of course, you go to school in Brooklyn, you're gonna get those kids.
Yeah, they think like they're geniuses. Like I'm sitting there, like, you know, I have more work to worry about. I'm usually studying in that class too, because all I do is study. I'm usually sitting there studying, reading my notes, typing something, and you get these kids like I just hear them while I'm typing. And I'm just like, yo, like what's wrong with you?
So what makes you calm down? Because it feels like you're pretty stressed with
yeah,
like school and stuff like
people
that.
People tell me that.
What do you do on your downtime? Like, what do you do?
Well, you know, I'm usually studying a lot, but, like, you know, I go to school 4 days a week. 4 days a week. I work on the weekends and the other days I have off. So I really don't have that much time, you know? But a lot of times...
That's why you love the peace and
exactly.
quiet.
In my room, or no, my basement. I call it the dungeon. Because no one goes down there. I just sit there. Won't even have the TV on. I'll literally just sit there and just stare at the wall.
So you do like a little meditation type of thing.
Maybe a little bit, yeah. I just kind of sit there and just relax. Maybe I'll throw a video on just to have background noise. I won't even watch the video. I just need it for background noise. Just sit there and just... that's it. I'm clocked out for the day.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, no, yo, people have their own coping mechanisms with
Yeah.
everything. And when I was in school, when I had my downtime, mainly what would happen is I went to Albany, so
Yeah.
I had my suite mates and stuff. So I wasn't like you where I'm a commuter. That probably sucks too. Like, do you
Oh,
do work on the train and stuff?
never. I
It's hard,
always
right?
tell myself, yo, I'm gonna study my notes before class because I have a test. I'm gonna study right before, and I'm telling you, never do. Never. I've never have ever.
Yeah. Well, when I was with my suite mates, they would always be like, "Yo, like, you done with your work yet? Like, let's hang out." And I'm like, nah, like I probably got like another hour of studying. They're like, yo, you're mad annoying, bro. All you do is study. All you
Yeah,
do
that's
is
what I'm
do
saying.
work.
People tell me that.
And like,
People don't
it's
understand.
annoying, but like on my downtime, I would hang out with them.
Oh yeah,
We would just like,
I'd still do that stuff, but you know.
but like, yeah, it's hard. Like when you have your friends and they're all hanging out, and you're like, what am I doing with my life? Like, am I really wasting my youth right now?
I know.
Not going to hang out with my friends. That's kind of like what pushed me to the edge of not
That's
going to
true.
college anymore.
Cause you know, what's it called? You don't know when the world's gonna end. It
Yeah,
could be
exactly.
tomorrow. Like just live your life, but you gotta just make sure you have your future in
Oh yeah,
like plans.
you kind of have to do that too, but
That's.
but I mean, it sounds like you're really on this path of becoming a nurse. So it sounds
Yeah.
like you're doing every and
I
everything
mean,
to get there.
I'm basically almost there, so there's no backing away now.
Hey, you could always back out.
I can, but I do want to do that.
Do you ever
that's what I wanna
think
do.
that like this isn't for you?
Honestly, I did a little bit when I first started, a little bit, but because I would sit there in anatomy, I would be taking notes, studying all night, go into the class and fail the tests. I'm like, bro, like what else do you want me to do? Like I'm sitting there, I would study all week for this test and still fail it. Like I really thought, like, can I even do this? Like, can I? I really don't think I can. But my friends actually really pushed me through it. Frank, I just really he teaches me everything. He's big with that. He used to, not really anymore, but he used to just like come to my house, teach me everything, and I would take the test and I would do better. So he pushed me through it, and thankful for that.
That's awesome.
Yeah, he's a big help. But now I'm good. Now I know I want to do it. I'm ready. I'm ready to just finish college and just start working.
Wow. So you're done already. You're fucking checked out.
Yeah.
How do you think? Like honestly, this is pretty crazy because the coronavirus is going around right now.
Yeah. It's
So like,
crazy.
how do you think this affects everything in the future?
I don't know what it's gonna do. There was actually
Like, does that scare you becoming a nurse?
not really. I mean, maybe a little bit because I'm gonna be around it a lot more than normal people. But they do have like a lot of protocols. Like I'll have to wear a mask and stuff. They have like a special mask. I forget what it's called.
I heard the masks and the gloves are bullshit.
Yeah, they have a special mask
Yeah.
that like nurses wear that actually work. I forget what it's called. Something stupid.
Yeah, if you go to the dollar store and get
Yeah,
yourself
those
a
masks, they literally you could breathe out of the side, so
Yeah.
it doesn't help anything.
I never understood that. Like it
Yeah.
helps if you have like really bad allergies with like dust and shit, and like
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
cleaning out a closet. But
Yeah, other than that,
for a
really,
fucking virus, bro.
yeah, that thing's going right through.
Yeah, bro, that's bad
Yeah.
funny.
There was a kid. I was in clinical. I was on the pediatric floor with like all the kids and everything, and so every class we have like a list of the patients. We kind of read it together, and we all get assigned patients, whatever. So one of the girls was reading it, and they said, whatever, 12-year-old kid, whatever, and then it said like coronavirus with a plus next to it, and she was like, did he have a coronavirus? And the teacher was like, oh, he must. Like, she didn't even care. Like, she was like all for it. And then, so I had my
She
patient.
got hyped for that.
Yeah,
She's
so I'm
like,
saying.
yes,
She was like, I guess
let's
so.
go.
Okay. And so I finished with my patient. I finished doing what I was doing. And I found my professor, and she was like, oh, come with me. So she's walking, and we're looking in all the rooms, like, oh, they're okay. And then we get to the isolated room. That's where the kid is. She goes, oh, what's this? And there's like a sheet on the door. It tells you like you can't go in unless you have a mask and gown and gloves and everything. And she was like, oh, that's the kid, right? And I was like, I think so. She was like, we're gonna go get gloves. You want to go in? I was like, huh? Yeah, she was like, oh, we're gonna ask the
That's
nurses for
scary.
masks, everything. And I was like, I mean, I'm not gonna say no because like it's my class. I have to do it. So I was just like, oh, okay. So, what's it called? We go to the nursing station, and she's like, "Oh, do you have all the stuff? We want to go in." And she was like, "Oh, we're running out. You kind of just stay away from the room." And I was like honestly, I was like, "Thank God."
Yeah,
Like,
you don't want to do that. You don't want to put yourself in the risk of that.
exactly. But I mean, if I do become a nurse, like I'm gonna have to be doing that. But you know,
But like that's when
I'm
you
really,
become a nurse.
I'm really not certified yet. Like I don't know exactly. Like I kind of know what I'm doing, but not exactly. Like I don't, you know.
Yeah, you want to leave that up to the people that have been there for
Exactly.
at least like 5-6 years doing that
Exactly.
shit. Like leave it to them,
Yeah.
not me, not somebody who's in college. Like
Yeah.
I would love the experience. It would definitely
Oh,
bring
yeah.
me some type of way of like being like, oh shit, like I'm in this right now.
Exactly.
But
Like it could be like if I take my gloves off like a little bit wrong, I could literally get it all over my hands and touch my face, and that would be it.
yeah,
Like you got to be really, really careful.
and you're done for it.
Yep.
Well, I mean, you're not done for it. We're mad young. We'd survive.
Yeah, we're fine. I have a little breathing issues, but I think I'll be fine.
That's
a little
funny.
bit.
I feel like I never contributed to what brings me joy and happiness.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm
I
just-
kind of completely forgot about that at that time.
Yo, it's fun, dude. Yo, honestly, like this shit happens all the time. So like, I don't know. I feel like speaking about joy and happiness, I feel like people are in a way entertained, but also they just enjoy, hearing people talk. Just the human
Oh, yeah.
That's what brings me a lot of joy and happiness.
Exactly.
Like when I hear people talking and conversating and understanding each other and not, speaking over each other. Like when you hear people who argue, like this is why I don't like politics.
Oh, I hate politics.
I don't like politics because I feel like no one ever just has a conversation.
No, it's all fighting with each other because honestly, like both sides aren't all right. Like one's a little right, one's a little wrong, one's a little right.
Yeah.
They're basically arguing over who's more right about something. And it's just
Yeah.
like it's all based on opinion. Like it's not a fact that you're more right. It's just you think you are and you think you are. So
And what people don't realize is that policies affect other policies. So
exactly.
if you say a policy for that, then that other thing is affected by that first policy. So
Yeah.
like it's not like that policy is gonna work. Say you hear that. Say Trump did something and you hear that policy and you're like, that's disgusting. But it actually might help out the other policy and increase the value of it by 100%. Like that's what's so crazy about it. I don't know. What's your stance on voting? Because honestly, I don't think that anyone should be voting unless they are like certified in some way. I feel like all of us are so stupid. Like no one knows what the fuck's going on.
I have a little bit of a different approach. I
Okay.
feel like everyone should vote. It's your right to vote. Like people like women, they fought for the right to vote. Like I just feel
I
like
think everyone should have the right to vote.
No, yeah,
But
100%, but-
I think we should be informed about everything.
Oh, yeah, like,
because I feel like
a lot of people just go
blind.
in. A lot of people just go in like, oh, I'm gonna vote Democrat. I'm gonna vote Republican. Like
Exactly. Yeah.
at least do like a little bit of research. I'm not the greatest politician. I don't know anything about anything, but like I have a little bit of an understanding,
Yeah.
and I'll vote. I think you should vote.
I
Because,
think people are very ignorant to the fact that they want to just stick with their parties because that's all they know and they don't want to change sides.
A lot of people like that.
It's I'm this side, so I'm this side till I die, and that's kind of our ego. Our ego is like,
yeah.
it has this attachment to things. Like if you say that's mine, like for example, if you say that's my bag over there and that bag gets ruined, say you leave it for some reason, you left it in the middle of the street,
Yeah.
a car runs it over, the bag is done. You have attachment to that.
Yeah.
That's like
a
your
lot of people
ego.
are like that.
Yeah, and you're gonna feel that. You're gonna be like, oh shit, that was my bag. Like I really like that bag.
Yeah.
And it's not bad, but like when your ego is just a higher power than your actual conscious being, and you're like, oh shit, like I can't change sides. I've been red all my life. I can't change the blue. Those guys fucking suck. Oh yeah, like no one sucked on your side. Like it's very strange.
Because both sides are like, there's so many like stupid people like on what's called left, and there's so many stupid people on the right. Like you gotta just like you know.
And that's something that gave me so much anger and
I
sadness
cannot
and stuff.
even
Like,
bother.
speaking about joy and happiness, like that is the total opposite. Like, I became a very happy person when I stopped going to college, when I stopped looking at politics, when I started doing things that I liked, when I started actually enjoying my job. You know, like when you start
That's the
doing
biggest thing.
things, when you start doing things that you enjoy all the
Oh
time,
yeah.
I don't understand why people don't do anything that they don't enjoy. When people are going to their job and they're like, I fucking hate my job.
Exactly.
Why are you still doing it? Like, I understand if you're in a situation, you're a parent, you have to pay the bills. Okay, that's totally fine. But if you want to have a happy and a successful life, success doesn't come just from money. Success definitely comes from being happy
yeah,
and
100%.
joyful and being a good person. When you're not happy, you're not a good person. So you're going to show a bad example. If you're a guardian or a parent and you're not happy and you're showing a bad example to the kids that you're raising, that's fucked, because the kids are going to think that's normal. And that's kind of what happened to me growing up. Like, I would see older people, you know, like just adults, not even just my parents, and they would just be pissed off at something. And I would be like, oh, that's normal. Like,
Yeah.
if I'm mad, I'm just going to say it. I don't give a fuck. And, you know, like, it's not the way to go about
No.
life. Like, when you see a person who's happy, like the other day, so my dog, you saw she has a cone around her head. You know, Coney Island Jeej. She's back at it. She's got one more week to go, but her bowl can't be on her little thing anymore. Like, she has this thing that rises up so she doesn't hurt her neck. But now she has to put it on the floor just because she's got to put her head over it, you know, the whole cone and stuff.
Yeah.
So I fucking put my foot down, and god damn it, it spilled all over the place. You know, usually I would just flip out. I'd be like, what the fuck?
Oh yeah, that's
Of
how I
course
am.
this had to
That's how
happen
I
to
am.
me. But I sat there and I said, you know what? If this is the worst thing that happens to me
That's
today,
a good thing.
it's not the worst thing in the world. Like, I could have so much worse things going on in my life. So instead of that, I'm just going to get a towel. I'm going to wipe that shit up, and I'm going to go about my
That's
day.
a really good approach. I mean, I can't do that. I mean, I'll try.
You can.
I will try. I will try. But, you know, every little thing just pisses me off. Driving down Richmond Avenue, people don't know how to drive. Every light, like, I hit every single light going down. Like, I just want to get out of the car and just get hit, honestly. But
You're like, yo, pay for my tuition.
yeah, honestly, I'm fit. Nah, every little thing pisses. I gotta stop with that because
Well, it's your emotions.
yeah, I really have to stop because so many people tell me like, why is so many things like get you mad? I'm just like, I don't know. I'm an angry person.
But that's just your environment, you know? Like,
Yeah.
you grew up around people who were like that.
Yeah,
So
I have a really
saw it.
short fuse, you know.
Yeah, and in your subconscious mind, you programmed it to be like that. So you're in this situation, something happens to you that wasn't planned, and it wasn't a good thing. So you're just your fuse goes off.
Exactly.
And you're like, fuck this. Just like your professor with your art class. Like,
Oh.
so she was a nun, and she was the one who was yelling at you, which is
She's
very
a-
surprising.
She's a nun, and she's like not even just yelling, just making fun of me. Like I'm
Yeah,
not gonna.
it's fucked.
Like people like looking, like she would make fun of me. The whole class would turn around, and I sat in the back, and I'm just like, "Yo, what the hell's wrong with you?" Like,
And like, that's the point where, even though you want to go back at her, you should be the bigger person.
I should
You
have.
should have been the adult.
I
You know,
wa-
like,
I
that's
did-
not the adult move by her.
I know. I did a little bit, but like she was just relentless. Like she would never stop. So I couldn't keep my mouth shut.
It's
anymore.
fucked.
It was a rough experience.
Yeah,
But we
and-
got through it. Got a B plus. That's all you can ask for. Move on.
You could ask for A+, but hey.
I don't even need that. Just B plus is okay.
Yeah, but isn't that very shocking that somebody who is supposed to be super holy,
Exactly.
who is supposed to be this person who's kind of like a figure
Yeah, that's what I'm
to a
saying.
whole community, to a whole religion, and all she's doing is taking whatever, I don't know what's boiling inside of her. She probably hasn't had sex ever.
That's exactly what I said.
Yeah, she probably, and that's something that every organism in this world, that's their thing. Like, hey,
Yeah.
I want to reproduce. Like, I'm gonna feel fulfilled when I can reproduce with another mate.
Exactly.
And especially when we have feelings now, like when feelings come into it, and you became a nun at fucking 21, 22.
Maybe
you
younger.
gave your life to God, and now you're 60 whatever, and
Miserable.
all this shit's coming out that God probably isn't real because we have all this technology and stuff. And, you hear Elon Musk saying, oh, the world is actually, it could be a computerized system. And you're like, what the fuck?
I mean, I don't know about that, but it's a possibility.
But yeah, anything's possible.
Yeah.
And like when the shit goes into your mind, you're like, you question it. It's like when you first started off with nursing, you questioned it. You're like, oh, can I do this?
Yeah.
And now she's questioning, like, did I waste my whole
Yeah,
entire
that's
life?
probably what she's at, and she probably can't do it no more. So.
And she takes it out on her students
too old.
because no one could do anything. They're like, oh, Sister Rose, she's a sweetheart. She's just playing with you.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that.
No, the whole class hated her. Kids left the class, like they wouldn't go back anymore. Like it was rough.
That's fucked, man.
I remember she told us, like, because we were complaining about the homework and everything, and like saying like we have other stuff, like you can't give us this much homework, it's not fair, and like, oh, we work and everything. And you know what her response was? She said, oh, if your parents were smart, they would have saved up enough money for you to go to college so you didn't have to work. We were just like the whole class just went silent, and one girl got up and flipped out and left the class. Like we were just like, bro, like what's wrong with you?
No one brought this up to like any of the counselors.
No, they did. They brought it to the deans and everything, and I don't know what happened. I think she calmed down a little bit, but like,
it's art. I had
that's
an
what
art
I'm saying.
class too.
It's art. Like
And,
relax.
My art teacher, she was alright. She wasn't like the worst person in the world, but it's just that the tests are so hard. Like how am I supposed to look at a painting and be like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, that's from the 1500s. I remember that one. Like, no, ask me questions about like my opinion on it. Make it a little bit easier, because when you have an intro class, like you want the people to actually to see if they have interest. That's the problem with all these electives, is that they give you the intro course, and what they should be giving you is a different course, this course of like introducing it, but it doesn't actually go towards the major. It should be like, oh, this is what our class is going to be like. These are the paintings. These are the pictures that we're going to talk about.
It should be more of like your opinion, because I would be more engaged.
Yeah,
instead of like saying like, oh, what is this painting? What are they doing? Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, what's the meaning of this painting?
If I just say, how does it make you feel? Like I would be more interested in answering that than answering who drew this, who painted this. Like I don't care.
I don't give a fuck who painted this. What does that
If I was an
matter?
art major, maybe, but I'm not an art major. I really don't care.
You pick up your phone and you're like, oh, it says here that this person painted it. So why the fuck do I have to memorize
Exactly.
it?
That's what I'm saying. You can look it up. You can look up anything on your phone.
Yeah, because when the world goes to shit, the internet dies, and we have no energy, we have no power, the first thing I'm going to think of is, man, I really wonder who fucking drew this painting over here.
Exactly.
It's fucked.
Funny.
It's a weird thing that they put you through.
Yeah.
But hey, man, it makes her happy. It definitely that class
I guess it makes her
happy.
but no one
Her
else.
happiness comes from people struggling mightily, and it's weird. Her happiness comes from evil.
Probably.
It comes literally. She's the one who's supporting God, but she's really supporting the devil at that point.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I think. Then she was like, you remember the Nun movie? That's like when I had the class when that Nun movie came out.
Yes,
that's what I'm saying. I'm like, yo, that's her, bro. Like she's from the movie.
You know what happened? She tried out for the script. They're like,
Probably.
you don't want a real nun. Like, you're not qualified. We have this actress over here. And she's like,
that could be what happened.
She's like, I'll fucking show him.
Yeah.
She's
Maybe
like,
she was recording the class.
Come to St. Francis. I'll show you a little something.
Yeah, maybe. Honestly.
Oh man. Whatever. That happened to me once before. The phone fucking rang. I paused it and stuff, but I don't even know if they could hear that. Whatever. If you guys can't hear that, I am so sorry. My apologies to you guys. You have to hear a phone ring. But it's not the worst thing in the world. You could not hear this podcast. And I don't know what you guys would be doing without this podcast today.
Me either.
I don't know how your day would be affected. Who you got to know Phil. He's wearing a shirt called Killy Killy.
Yeah.
It is something like Dilly Dilly for Bud Light, but it's for a mountain in Vermont if you guys are interested in snowboarding.
Yep, it's called Killington Mountain.
Yes. How was that experience? Did you like it?
It was cool. I mean, well, I'm not the greatest snowboarder. I kind of just started, so when I was going, I was busting my ass. It was bad. I was getting the hang of it though, but right when I started getting the hang of it, I was going. They bring me down what's called a black, which is like a death one basically. So
Yeah, bro. It's like
it's like falling off a cliff,
Yeah.
basically, but you're on a snowboard. I basically just fell the whole way down. You don't even understand. Like,
you can't even like stand up and stuff because it's so steep, right?
it's crazy. It was nuts, and there was turns too. There was like it was steep. There was turns, but like there was like some parts that were like it was snowing the whole time. So like there were some parts where it was like snow, like it was like a pile of snow, and the other part was all ice. And you want to like kind of
You
stay
didn't
away.
know where it was.
You kind of want to stay away from the ice. I mean, when you're on the ice, you just got like full send. Like there's nothing you could do. If you stop, you'll just like go flying. So
yeah, 'cause you just slip right off.
yeah. So I was going down, and I was on the ice. I was going really fast. So I was like, yo, I'm gonna. There was like a big pile like in front of me. So I said, oh, let me just hit this pile. So I slowed down a little bit, and I hit the pile, and it turns out it was a pile of ice, not snow. So I go up in the air. I'm literally up in the air. My legs are up above my head. I'm in the air. My goggles fly off my helmet. I just see them go flying off, and I boom right on my back. I literally just
It's one of those Twitter pictures like
Yeah.
you're wondering how I got to this point.
Yeah.
Let me show you.
yeah. I was literally laying on my back, and all of a sudden I hear something coming like behind me, like. I don't know what it was. And I turned. It was my goggles flying down the mountain. So I jumped over and was chasing my goggles because I didn't want to lose them. And there was that. And then I was done for the day. I didn't finish.
It's
All my
scary.
friends went, and I just went straight back to the lodge, and I stayed there.
Had some fucking hot chocolate, ate some food.
Yeah, that's what
It
I
was
did.
stressful, yeah.
Yeah,
It's-
nice and peace.
Yeah,
Peace and
exactly.
quiet, exactly.
that's what you needed. Like you need to go on like a retreat where you just sit.
Sit and don't talk to anyone.
Just there are silent retreats. Those are I've never looked into it, but I've talked to a girl. She actually came on the podcast. She's my sister's friend. Her name's
Yeah.
Jess, and she went on a silent retreat. And she talks so much, and
Oh
she
my
was like,
God.
"I didn't even want to start talking again when they said we could talk." She's like, "I actually enjoyed just being peaceful,
Yeah,
and
I like
quiet."
that stuff. I mean, too much peace is like it
gets
starts
to
to
you.
get like not. It starts to bring me like unhappiness or but
Makes you a little fidgety.
exactly like too much peace and quiet. I start to get a little weird and that's not the only thing that
Well,
brings
that's
me
because
peace.
you also don't practice it
Yeah.
that much. If you were
Yeah,
if you were
yeah.
doing
If I was
like
sitting there in my bed just laying there all week, I mean, I would start to like get pissed off, but but that's not the only thing that brings me happiness. Like seeing my friends, my family, doing stuff.
oh yeah, 100%.
That obviously is gonna bring me happiness, but nothing beats laying in my basement, laying in my bed, and just relaxing. Nothing beats that.
You have all of those. Like I love seeing my friends. I love seeing
Yeah.
the people I love and stuff like that. But there are specific things that really bring people happiness, and sometimes they're not even sometimes they're not even good things, and that's what really like messes you up when you think about this. Like
Yeah, like people like drugs bring them happiness.
Yeah,
alcohol brings them happiness.
and how are you supposed to say do what you love and what brings you happiness when you're in the situation and people are like, I love doing heroin. Like that's
Yeah.
what brings me happiness, and you tell them, well, there's much more to life, and they're like, I don't care. Like this is
Yeah.
what I love to do, and it's very hard to get somebody out of that situation and say like, hey man, like if you started working out, like that's a big dopamine rush that's natural for you, and that'll bring you happiness instead of that heroin, that big rush that you're super high for a little bit and then you come down, you get withdrawals. Like you don't want that.
Yeah.
You want to work out, and then after do something else that you love. Like get a hobby. Start reading, start writing,
exactly.
do all that stuff. And then once you start to actually enjoy it, there will become a time when you're like, I don't want to do this today.
Yeah.
But once you get started and you're going, like yesterday, I didn't read my book for like a whole week, and it really fucked me up because like I was getting on a roll with reading.
Yeah, I can't
And-
read, but
Yeah, I mean, it's taking a long time to get this naturally into my life, but I also think about how I started out with working out. I was forced to work out because I had practice and stuff like that.
Mhm.
And then after I stopped doing sports, I took off for a while
That's the
with
same thing.
working out. Like when I was in college, I was like, I don't have time for this shit. Now
Exactly.
I know I had a lot of time to do that shit. I was just a lazy fuck.
Mhm.
And I know now like what I could have done, but just seeing myself go through the progression of, okay, like now I'm gonna start working out again. All right, I'm doing it 3 times a week. Now I'm doing it 4 times a week. Oh, now I'm obsessed with it again. Now I love it again. And like that's the process that you go through. A lot of people want to force happiness, and like
Yeah,
you know
you can't force it.
Yeah, you gotta let it come naturally.
Exactly. I got to get into that habit again, working out, making it bring me happiness, because I hate working.
Yeah, well, that's the
it.
thing. Like, when you feel like it's a chore, stop. Just stop right away.
But I gotta, because I used to work out for football, and I'm telling you, I loved working out. I used to work out every day. I used to work out with school 4 days a week. I used to go to another trainer and work out another 2 days a week. It was crazy. I loved it. But, then like after football, like, where's the motivation? Like, my motivation was to get better at football and to become a starter and to be, good at football. But now, where's my motivation? It wasn't like, I don't care about looking good. Like, I don't care what this person thinks I look like. I don't care. I'm fat. I don't care.
Well, yeah, my motivation is the first thing. It's for my job.
Oh,
so,
yeah,
like,
that's different for you.
I kind of have to.
Yeah.
The second thing is I do want to look good. I do want to. My goal is to. It's more longevity. So that's why I don't really use weights, because I feel like using weights, you're gonna get injured at some point. The recovery isn't as great as calisthenics. So
Yeah.
I want to live to like 100. I want to be doing pull-ups still
Do
when
you?
I'm 100. Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I don't really care about that.
I
As
wanted
long
to
as I live a
defy-
happy life, I don't care what I do.
I wanted to well, that's what's gonna bring me happiness. Like,
Yeah.
reaching my goal of like I want
Just
to
living
be
healthy.
I want to be that grandpa that could still play with his his
That's-
grandkids at 75, 80 years old.
That's a good point.
Easily, like,
That's a good
not
point.
even like, oh, I have to take a rest. Like, I want to be able to be like,
Right.
oh, you want to throw the football around and last longer than them. And be
Yeah.
like, come on, pussy, let's go. And
Yeah,
like,
I respect that.
have fun with it. That's another reason. Third reason, I love eating. So like, the more I work out, the more I
more
can
you
eat,
eat.
and the less guilty I
Do
feel.
you eat healthy, or you just eat anything?
I eat pretty healthy.
Do you?
I've went from being super strict with my diet to letting myself, have a little fun with eating, because I eat basically like my 3 meals a day that I have. I have my smoothie, my peanut butter banana smoothie, and then I have my other meals, which is basically all meat, beans, and veggies. That's what I have for like all my meals. And then I have like my snacks or my protein bars and stuff like that, or that are made from natural ingredients, that are made from real ingredients, not like, this is a lot of protein bars are basically like whey protein isolate. Like, I don't like to use that shit. I feel like it's a lot of chemicals and stuff like that.
Like, you don't know what the hell's in there.
So I try to keep it as like paleo as possible when I'm eating. But then at night, like, I'll overeat sometimes. Like, I'll have too many bars. Like, I like to average about like 3 bars a day, because like I use them as snacks. So like I'll have my smoothie, I'll have a bar, I'll have my lunch, I'll have a bar, and then I'll have my dinner and I'll have a bar. And then like I'll
good.
smoke a little bit, and then I'll have like another
like 3
2
more
bars. so like that's kind of my problem.
Yeah.
But like I can afford the calories. I burn a lot all day.
Yeah, if you work out a lot, you can eat whatever the hell you want.
Yeah. So like I try to eat healthy, but like I do like to go out with my friends and stuff like that. So if I'm gonna go out to eat, like we went to Genki. I don't know what day.
See, it is Genki. I was telling everyone that it's Genki, and they were like, "No, it's Janky." And I was like, "Bro, it's literally Genki." I ordered a Genki roll, and I said, "Can I have a Janky roll?" And the lady looked at me and said, "It's Genki."
Yeah, I say good.
I always said Janky. Always.
Because like Jenna's the only one that is J for a G.
I think I was fighting with. He was one of the people I was fighting with, I think, unless he wasn't there yet.
He's like, my name's Jenna. Like he's not. It's like,
yeah, yo,
it's not
Jenna,
Genna.
it's fucking Genki.
Yeah, I say Genki. I don't know. It doesn't really fucking matter.
Yeah.
But yeah, I had shrimp fried rice, and like
Oh, that stuff
my
is so
stomach
good.
definitely was fucked up from that. But like I'm still young, so like my body's like, okay, like we could get through this. So my ideal plan for life is like by 35, 40 years old, that's when I'm going to have to really be super strict. So I might as well have some fun right now.
Yeah, that's what I say. I mean, I'm not, like, I don't eat, like, super unhealthy. Like, I eat grilled chicken. I eat baked chicken.
You don't have to fucking eat grilled chicken. Grilled chicken's the worst thing.
No, I like it. My
Oh my
mom
God.
makes it. I like it. I mean, not saying that like
It's like a chew toy.
I don't mind it, but I eat healthy stuff. I'm not gonna sit there and eat McDonald's every day. Like I try to stay away from it as much as possible.
I never
But
eat fast food.
when
like
when I'm drunk at night, we're passing Wendy's. Give me it, 4 for $4, crispy chicken.
I still don't have it.
No, that's the only time I really have, or if I'm at work and
I'll have like
time.
a few fries maybe. I'll have.
At work, I eat terrible. There's nothing to eat there.
You gotta bring your own food.
I do bring my own food, but sometimes I don't because
Yeah.
I'm lazy.
Life,
My mom
yeah.
doesn't give me anything. So like what are the choices? Popeyes, Chick-fil-A, Burger King, all like the Japanese stuff, Chinese stuff.
Yeah, it's annoying.
Chipotle, like there's really not many choices. Chipotle's gross. I'm not eating there anymore.
Really? Why?
They like have like contaminated food and stuff. Just get that away from me,
Bro. Oh, I gotta do some research on that. But
I heard that, and like Chick-fil-A, I heard their grilled chicken sandwich is even like healthy. Because I used to get that a lot. I'm like, yo, it's grilled chicken. It's healthy. I'm eating it. Apparently, it's not even that healthy for you.
Yeah, well,
Popeyes is disgusting.
Yeah.
Burger King, disgusting. There's this place Sarku. It's like the chicken teriyaki. That stuff is good, but after a while, I can't even look at it anymore.
Yeah. Well, Philip, we gotta wrap this podcast up.
All right.
We were about to talk for another hour.
I could keep going all day.
Yeah.
I feel like we didn't even tell them what brings me happiness. Like we said about like a minute of happiness. That was it.
Yeah, it's all right.
All right.
They'll enjoy it.
Yeah, you
And
better.
if they don't, whatever.
Fuck them.
Brought me happiness. I'll give a fuck whatever anybody else thinks. I'm happy with this conversation. It was fun. That's
Maybe
the
I should change your podcast. Bring me happiness.
thing. What brings unhappiness featured a little bit of happiness. All right, Phil. Thanks for coming on.
No
You were
problem.
awesome.
Thank you for having me.